Everyone wants to be rich, but not everyone will get there. If you've ever wondered what it takes to become wealthy and whether you've got the perfect blend of nerve, brains, and will to get there, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to discuss 10 telltale signs that you'll be rich someday and provide tips along the way on how you can jumpstart your journey to financial success. Let's get into it. Number 1. You actually care about making money. I know this may sound a bit crass, but you need to care about making money. A lot. Nothing meaningful happens without intense desire, commitment, and focus, especially something as difficult as becoming rich. There are people who say that they don't care about money. That's fine, but those people aren't going to become rich. It's the people who are laser focused on financial success, who stay up late learning about it, who get excited when they find a nugget of usable knowledge. These are the people that are going to ultimately become rich. If this sounds like you and you want to learn some great tips on how to start improving your financial life, check out my comprehensive guide to personal finance. I've got a link to it in the description section below. In fact, I've written articles on a variety of topics I will discuss throughout the video. So if you want to dive deeper on any of the areas we will cover, please check out the links below. Number 2. You know your strengths and capitalize on them. If you are someone who knows their strengths and has figured out how to capitalize on them, you're well on your way to financial success. The key is to focus on building up your strengths, not shoring up your weaknesses. In school, and even work, everyone is focused on shoring up their weak points, but that's not what leads to massive success. You get that when you're exceptionally good at something and continue to hone it until you are world class, or at least better than your immediate competition. You have to break away from the model student mentality of getting all A's. In the real world, if you're an A++ in one area that matters, but are a C everywhere else, you can still achieve incredible success. Number 3. You set ambitious goals and follow through. If you are someone who can look beyond their present condition and dream of a radically better financial future, then you may have what it takes to become rich. A lot of people are stuck in the belief that if they are poor, there is nothing they can do about it. They don't make plans to improve their situation because they think it's pointless. But a successful person will have a concrete and ambitious plan for a great future and work backward from that goal to figure out how they can make it a reality. If you're someone who aims high and actually follows through to try to make that goal a reality, that's a powerful sign that you will achieve wealth someday. Number 4. You don't want an ordinary life. Most people are fine living an ordinary life, but what does this really mean? They will work for 40 or 50 years, if they're lucky, at a job they might despise. They hope to never get fired but will live under the constant fear that they might. So these people living ordinary lives will numb themselves by watching TV, zoning out on social media, and recharging by taking the occasional vacation. Look, I'm not saying that's a bad choice, but you're unlikely to achieve extraordinary wealth if you're satisfied with an ordinary life. But if you can't stand the thought of working for someone else for the next 50 years and are willing to do whatever it takes to break out, then that's a pretty good sign that you'll ultimately land in an extraordinary place. Number 5. You're an independent thinker. Do you get excited when you learn unconventional ways to make money? The common wisdom states that you should spend less than you earn, sock away 10% of your salary in a 401k or IRA, and invest those funds in a diversified portfolio of stocks and bonds for the next 40 years until you retire. That may work, especially if you do it consistently and start young. But many rich people get that way by not following the conventional wisdom. They understand that if you follow the crowd, you will get no further than the crowd. Whether it's investing in alternative assets like real estate, starting a business, or growing a side hustle, they don't let the naysayers sway them from their path. Now, most successful people don't do something different just because it's different. They carefully evaluate whether it's a wise strategy and whether the risk is worth the reward. If you have an independent mind and don't get bogged down by what other people say, that's a good sign that you have what it takes to be rich someday. Number 6. You can learn new skills. To succeed in any meaningful enterprise, you'll need to expand your knowledge and skills. Most folks are too afraid or too lazy to do this. But if you're the type of person that enjoys a challenge, is not afraid to fail, and loves mastering a skill, then you're well positioned to become rich. Everything is hard at the beginning, but eventually everything becomes easy. It's true for most things in life, including making money. Number 7. You have excellent judgment. You can be the most ambitious and motivated person in the world, but if you make a lot of bad decisions, you're never going to move closer to your goals. I have found that one of the key differences between someone who eventually succeeds in life and someone that stalls out is how they make their decisions. If they are future-focused, then they are playing the long game and they act accordingly. If they aren't, then their decisions are grounded on what is convenient right now. Decisions based on short-term needs often lead to regret and fewer options for the future. Not a good recipe for generating wealth. Number 8. You have self-control. If you want to be wealthy, you must be able to control your impulses. That means controlling your spending so that you can save or invest more. It means reading a book or article that will get you closer to your financial goals, even when you'd prefer to lay in bed watching a movie. It means controlling your temper when an important client is treating you unfairly. We've all been faced with these types of choices. How you control yourself matters. It'll allow you to build success and not ruin what you've built with an impulsive action. 9. You're willing to take risks, but aren't reckless. The risk-reward trade-off states that as potential returns increase, so does the risk. It's why savings accounts are safe, but pay a meager interest rate, while stocks are risky but have higher average yields. If you want to make real money, you need to be willing to take on risk. If you're brave enough to do this, but smart enough to recognize when a risk is foolish or excessive, then you have a valuable trade that'll allow you to become rich. So how do you make big money without taking on excessive risk? You need to recognize risk when it's there and then mitigate it. Here's an example. I'm a real estate investor and own 9 rentals. When I look at a property, I know that there's risk there. The neighborhood can decline, tenants may not pay the rent, they may trash the place, the heater may break down. I could lose a lot of money, and if I were going into it blind, the chances of those things happening would be high because I would probably buy in the wrong neighborhood, be clueless when it comes to screening tenants, etc. But I've been doing this for over 10 years. I know what neighborhoods to invest in. I know how to screen tenants and keep them happy. I make sure to inspect all my properties before I buy them. My risk of losing money when I buy a new property now is almost zero. Once you have the knowledge, risk naturally dissipates and making money becomes a snap. You figured out what works. You just need to rinse and repeat. Number 10. You surround yourself with people who are successful. Most people hang out with those who make them feel comfortable, who treat them kindly and with respect. That's fine. I'm not saying you should abandon current friendships. But if you're committed to making real money, you need to start building a network of people you can learn from. So if you aren't afraid to start new relationships and you're willing to hustle to build out your network, you'll find it much easier to obtain wealth in the future. As the saying goes, your network equals your net worth. So there you have it. 10 signs that you'll be rich someday. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to get more great content like this, please consider subscribing. It helps a lot and I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.